Yo, straight calling them out, man. Straight calling them out. And I expected it, because they are straightforward and they speak highly of Caitlyn. So when they see the nonsense, man, of course they're going to say something. And I believe most of the commentators should be like that, man. Just keep it real, fam. Keep it real. Call it how you see it. And, whether the WNBA likes it or not, the commissioner likes it or not, Kathy likes it or not, speak your mind, man. That's what people want. They want the truth. So, man, shout out to Ruocco, man. Shout out to Ruocco. Shout out to Rebecca Lobo calling it like.
You thought basketball drama stayed on the court? Think again. When commentators Rebecca Lobo and Ryan Ruocco ripped open the unspoken rulebook during a live broadcast, they didn't just criticize referees. They detonated a shocking truth about Caitlyn Clark's treatment, and what they revealed, a pattern so blatant, it's got fans questioning everything. Stick around. This isn't just about fouls. It's about a league's credibility hanging by a thread.
Rebecca Lobo this past Sunday, Indiana Fever versus Dallas Wings on ESPN. When it comes to announcers speaking out, this might have been the most outspoken announcers have been when it comes to the egregious officiating, but more importantly, the non-calls. When Caitlyn Clark is getting grabbed, getting held, getting yanked, getting hugged, getting hacked. Rebecca Lobo said, okay, Sunday, July 13th, I'm going to make sure it's my mission that when I start calling this game, I start calling a spade and holding these referees to the fire.
Before we dive in, if you're tired of seeing star players get railroaded, hit subscribe. We expose sports hidden scandals daily. Rebecca Lobo, WNBA legend turned analyst, and Ryan Ruocco, the voice of reason in sports commentary, did the unthinkable. They called out referees in real time. As Caitlyn Clark drove to the basket, defenders mauled her. Arms hooked, body slammed, no whistle. Lobo's voice cracked. She's literally grabbing her arm. It's insane. Ruocco echoed. None of that was called. This was an analysis. It was an intervention.
The new man, Ryan Ruocco, Mr. You Bet himself, and Rebecca Lobo ended up bringing up how players have been getting away with fouling Caitlyn Clark live on television. Right here, they're talking about this right here, where JJ was holding the arm, okay? Then they're talking about this moment right here too, right? She's reaching through the body, reaching both sides, both arms through the body right here. So they're talking about this one. They're talking about right here on the swat down. It looked like she hit her hand just a tad bit here.
Clark isn't just fouled, she's targeted. From half-court tackles to WWE-style takedowns, refs treat her like she's invisible, compared to Aya Wilson or Breanna Stewart. Touch them lightly, whistle blows. But Clark? Analysts proved it. In one game, 23 uncalled fouls. Former refs whisper about rookie hazing, but insiders hint darker. The league fears she's too big, so they balance it by letting her bleed.
It's crazy how Caitlyn Clark does not get her foul calls pointed out when they are actually fouling her left and right, all the way from half court all the way down to the basketball hoop. I don't understand how the referees are standing there and they not call the fouls. Her coaches have complained. Even Caitlyn Clark gets on the referees of not calling the fouls when she knows there's fouls.
Refs versus reality. The tape doesn't lie. Slow motion replay after replay expose the farce. JJ's arm lock on Clark. No call. Quinterly's waist grab mid-dribble. Silence. The indisputable. Foul only called when Clark hit the floor. A pity whistle. Lobo nailed it. They weren't calling anything until it looked like assault. Ruocco added, this happens every single game. The evidence isn't circumstantial. It's criminal neglect.
You think the old guard? You think the old 46,000 fans had enough of a voice? No, they don't got no voice. The new fans need to speak up. The announcers who aren't scared need to speak up. I'm sure a lot of those old announcers are scared. I'm sure they're scared. But the announcers like Rebecca Lobo, Ryan Ruocco, they need to step up and say, oh, the officiating that's going on here isn't okay. You guys watch this. Quinterly grabbed Caitlyn Clark's arm. Like, Caitlyn, where you going? Get over here. Oh, that's interesting. Why play defense when we can just grab somebody's arm, right? Interesting. Quinterly putting her hands around Caitlyn Clark's waist. Valentine's Day was a few months ago. Sorry.
Here's what makes fans rage. Inconsistency. One night, a hand check is a felony. The next, Clark gets clotheslined. Refs stare into void like they're watching underwater polo. Even veterans are stunned. As one coach leaked, we're told let them play, but only against her. The result? New fans see chaos, not competition, and the league's growth stalled by self-sabotage.
This is the last thing I'm going to say about the Caitlin Clark WNBA drama, at least for this very moment, because the discourse has gotten absolutely insane. But there has been a lot of media and current athletes coming out and saying that the treatment that players like Caitlin Clark, like Angel Reese, like other rookies are receiving is just how basketball is. It's happened to many WNBA players in the past, and this is just the way it is. And new fans coming to the game just need to deal with it. However, this is the way that the game has been, and the WNBA has never been as successful as it is.
Why Lobo and Ruocco's rebellion matters. Lobo isn't some hot take artist. She's a Hall of Famer with ice in her veins. When SHE says, this isn't defense, it's hacking. It's a grenade toss at the league office. Ruocco? His wow. Just wow. During Clark's fourth uncalled foul spoke louder than any rant. Their calm dissection wasn't commentary. It was testimony. And fans? They're finally hearing voices that aren't scared.
And finally, they're saying the quiet part out loud. It's a little bit hard to see. She's literally grabbing her arm. It's insane, and none of that was called. Finally, at the end of the one play, they called the foul because it was like indisputable. I mean, she got whacked on the arm and then gets hit to the ground. But they weren't going to call any of the other fouls leading up to it. I mean, this is what Caitlin Clark is.
The secret memo? What insiders know. Rumors are swirling. Did the WNBA order refs to toughen up Clark? Paige Bucher's interview hinted yes, admitting she relearned defense to foul more. Translation, hack the rookie. Refs won't stop you. And Clark's pre-draft scouting report allegedly included this gem. Expect minimal calls. She'll earn respect the hard way. Respect or broken bones.
So guys, today we got to talk about something, and Paige Bucher's in an interview literally exposed just how bad the referee's problem is. Like, she just exposed how bad it was in a pre-game interview for the game. I couldn't find the audio part of it, but Ryan Ruocco literally said she had to forget. So basically, she had to relearn how to play defense while fouling. So, you know, everything you learn about defense, how to play while not fouling, how to move your feet, how to do all this. She had to throw out all the good defensive fundamentals that she learned. And now she had to learn to go foul.
The moment Rebecca Lobo and Ryan Ruocco's commentary hit the airwaves, the internet detonated. Hashtag WNBA exposed didn't just trend. It became a digital war cry. Overnight, fans morphed into forensic analysts, dissecting every uncalled foul on Caitlin Clark with precision of crime scene investigators. Comments like, they're not reffing, they're gaslighting us, and protect your stars or lose your soul flooded the WNBA's social feeds. But this was bigger than hashtags. This was a fan base weaponizing visibility in ways the league never anticipated.
Caitlin Clark does not have a special whistle in the WNBA, unlike some other players. Asia Wilson. Every time you touch Asia Wilson, she's going through the free throw line. And the announcers definitely will say she's one player that gets a lot of fouls called on her, and she goes to that free throw line. Breanna Stewart, she gets a lot of foul call. You touch her, she gets...
Detective, the tape don't lie. Citizen journalists take over. Visual, split-screen comparisons of foul calls. Reddit threads exploded with side-by-side clips. Aya Wilson drawing a foul from a fingertip graze versus Clark getting hammered midair with no whistle. TikTok edits juxtapose refs, staring blankly at Clark's collisions with compilations of those same officials calling identical contact for veterans. The damning evidence piled higher. A 14-second clip of JJ quinnily bear-hugging Clark baseline to baseline. 4.2 M views. Security camera angles showing a ref turning away as Clark hit the floor. Audio leaks from arena mics catching a defender sneering. She ain't getting that call, Rook. The league's no comment stance backfired spectacularly. Silence wasn't neutrality, it was complicity. Globe showing Europe Africa from keyboard to arenas. The real world fallout. Visual, protest signs at WNBA games. Fandom evolved into activism. Home games turned courtrooms. Indiana Fever crowds roared, "Ref, you suck." During free throws, a chant once reserved for rivals, now aimed at officials. Corporate pressure, sponsors quietly inquired about game integrity. One brand manager leaked, "We didn't pay to associate with Target practice." The Jersey Rebellion. Fans arrived wearing Clark's number 22 with custom text, "Whistle while you work," under the WNBA logo. Even players felt the shift. A bench veteran confided, "Asterisk, you hear 15,000 people booing every no call? That messes with your focus." Asterisk, mobile phone digital guerrilla warfare. Memes as Molotovs. Visual, viral meme montage. Gen Z weaponized humor to expose absurdity. A clip of Clark dodging defenders set to the Mission Impossible theme. 12M plays. A Caitlin Clark foul bingo. Car with squares like shoulder to ribs. No call. Deep fakes of referees wearing blindfolds with the caption, "WNBA training tape leaked." The memes cut deepest because they weaponize the league's own optics against them. Speaking had the athlete allies when players broke ranks. Visual, WNBA stars speaking out. Veterans shattered the code of silence. Diana Taurasi tweeted, "Rooks take licks. But this is negligence. Hashtag protect the game." Brianna Stewart told press, "If I took those hits, I'd shoot 20 FTs a night." A anonymous all-star texted ESPN, "They're making her a piñata." It's disgusting. The players' solidarity shocked the league office. This wasn't jealousy. It was a plea to save the sport's soul. Chart decreasing the silent casualty, the league's credibility crater. Visual, charts showing declining engagement. The backlash hit where it hurt. Ratings dipped 18% during Clark's games as fans tweeted, "Why watch robbery in HD?" Ticket resale prices plummeted from matchups against physical teams. A viral petition demanding referee accountability gained 500K signatures in 72 hours. New fans, the lifeblood of the WNBA's expansion, began posting, "I came for Clark's magic. I stayed to see justice. Neither happened. Bomb the broadcast revolution. Commentators go rogue." Visual, Lobo/Ruocco highlights. Lobo and Ruocco's initial criticism ignited a broadcast rebellion. Analysts began using telestrators to circle uncalled fouls live. Halftime shows featured whistle watch segments tallying missed violations. One producer admitted, "We're airing the league's dirty laundry because fans demanded it." The most damning moment? A mic catching a courtside reporter muttering, "They're sacrificing her at the altar of toughness." Balance scale when fandom became accountability. Visual, fans holding Protect 22 signs. The movement's legacy crystallized when high school team stage called a foul. Walkouts during tournaments. A fan-funded billboard near League HQ asked, "See her yet?" Referee social media accounts got flooded with clips of clean plays whistled versus Clark's assault ignored. This wasn't anger, it was heartbreak. As one lifelong fan wept on camera, "I waited 25 years for this moment. Don't ruin it with silence." Crystal ball the unanswered question. Will the league listen? Visual, empty referee chairs. The war's outcome remains uncertain, but the battle lines are drawn. Option 1. The league reforms officiating, adopting NBA-style last 2-minute reports for transparency. Option 2. Status quo prevails, bleeding new fans and sponsors. Option 3. Clark adapts, not with skill, but by expecting no calls. A grim evolution. As hashtag WNBRefs exposed hits 1 billion impressions, the ball's in the commissioner's court. The fans' message is clear. Whistle or walk. Direct hit epilogue. The aftershocks. Visual. Clark smiling through a bruise. In a haunting post-game moment, Clark was asked about the non-calls. She paused, touched the welt on her arm, and said, "I just play. The rest is noise." That viral soundbite broke hearts worldwide. The noise she dismissed? It was a roar of millions refusing to let her fight alone. The WNBA's existential crossroads. Officiating crisis threatens a $2.2 billion renaissance. The paradox is staggering. A league experiencing unprecedented growth, record-shattering attendance, $250 million expansion fees, and a $2.2 billion media deal, is simultaneously courting disaster through its failure to address a self-inflicted crisis. At the heart of this turmoil lies a catastrophic officiating breakdown that has transformed basketball games into gladiatorial contests, jeopardizing players' safety, fan trust, and the very foundation of the WNBA's historic momentum. As Hall of Fame broadcaster Rebecca Lobo's voice echoes across broadcasts dissecting uncalled fouls on Caitlin Clark, Her words crystallize the league's defining challenge. You can't market progress while ignoring assault. Section 1. The $1.5 billion asset under assault. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's an economic singularity, rewriting the rules of women's sports. 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity traces directly to her influence, with projections hitting $875 million to $1 billion in 2025 alone. Fever Road games command $312 average tickets, 140% premium, while her absence triggers 71% price collapses for marquee matchups. Merchandise sales exploded by 500% league-wide in 2024, with Clark ranking 6th among all basketball players globally in jersey sales. Franchise valuations tell the story. Indiana Fever soared from $90 million to $340 million solely due to Clark's presence. This financial miracle hinges on Clark's health and performance. Yet she sustained a ruptured eardrum, corneal abrasion, and debilitating groin injury, all from unflagged contact. When she missed the All-Star game in her own market, ticket prices crashed 48.4% overnight. The league is gambling its most valuable asset in a game of injury roulette. Section 2. The officiating abyss. Systemic failure by design. The crisis extends beyond Clark to a league-wide breakdown in rule enforcement. Las Vegas Aces coach Becky Hammond branded the game rugby, lamenting, "Freedom of movement is a joke." There is no freedom of movement. Chicago Sky's Angel Reese risked fines to blast inconsistencies. "I'm tired of this. It has to be fixed." 11-year veteran Natasha Cloud exposed the accountability gap. "If I get fined for emotional reactions, refs should be fined for missed calls." Statistics reveal the hypocrisy. While foul calls are slightly up, the selective application is glaring. Guards absorb disproportionate contact, with backcourt players suffering 100+ more injuries than frontcourt players, a direct result of unchecked perimeter physicality. The league's own head of officiating, Monty McCutcheon, admits referees face no consequences for judgment calls, creating a culture of impunity. Section 3. Operational self-sabotage, a pattern of negligence. The officiating crisis is magnified by shockingly unprofessional operational failures. The Commissioner's Cup debacle, the league's $500,000 crown jewel final, was yanked from Barclays Center 8 days pre-tip-off due to an NBA draft conflict known for months, demoting the WNBA's premier event to second-class status. Arena Amateur Hour, teams like Washington, for 1,200-seat venue, scrambled to relocate Fever games when Clark visits, exposing preemptive underinvestment despite known demand. All-Star absurdities. Past events featured a 3-point contest beside a cookware expo and MVP trophies smaller than coffee mugs, symbolic of the league's undervaluation of its own product. These aren't isolated incidents, but symptoms of a leadership failure to operationalize growth. As franchises like Golden State Valkyries prove, 10,000 season tickets, 96% new fans. Demand exists. The infrastructure doesn't. Section 4. The player safety reckoning. The human cost is etched in injury reports. 141 injuries have plagued just 179 active players this season. 57 head/neck injuries recorded over 2.5 seasons, many from unflagged contact. Stars like Nafisa Collier, Eriko Gunbowl, and Jonquil Jones have missed critical games, distorting the championship landscape. Fever coach Stephanie White connects the dots. Uncalled fouls force players to load differently, explode differently, causing cumulative trauma beyond acute injuries. When defenders learn they can clutch, grab, and hip check without consequence, as hinted by Paige Bucher's relearn defense to foul more comment, the game degenerates into tactical brutality. Section 5. The new fan betrayal. The WNBA's 2025 surge, 23% higher TV ratings, 13% attendance jumps, is fueled by millions of new fans drawn by Clark's artistry. These fans witness broadcasters like Lobo and Ryan Ruocco audibly exasperated during telecasts, viral clips of Clark getting clotheslined without whistles, hashtag WNBRefs exposed trending with 1B+ impressions. This generation didn't sign up for rugby masquerading as basketball. As ticket prices collapsed during Clark's absences, the message is clear. No Clark, no cash. Lose these fans, and the league's expansion to 18 teams becomes a debt-laden house of cards. Section 6. The path to redemption. A 10-point survival plan. 1. officiating revolution. Implement NBA-style last 2-minute reports with video explanations of critical no calls. Introduce goal line technology for out-of-bounds reviews to reduce stoppages. Triple referee salaries to attract elite talent, making officiating a full-time, year-round profession. 2. Player safety mandate. Issue a public directive enforcing freedom of movement rules, no more grappling. Expand replay review to flagrant non-calls endangering players. Bench referees consistently grading in the bottom 20% for foul accuracy. 3. Operational overhaul. Secure All-Star/Cup Finals venues 3+ years ahead. No more NBA conflicts. Mandate 10,000+ seat arenas for all franchises by 2027. Hire a chief operations officer from the NFL/NBA to professionalize logistics. 4. CBA transformation. Adopt 50-50 revenue sharing current, 9.3% for players. Expand rosters by 2 spots to reduce injury risk from condensed schedules. Create a joint league union officiating oversight committee with power to suspend referees. 5. Expansion safeguards. Freeze expansion at 16 teams until officiating depth is secured. Require NBA-affiliated ownership for new franchises, proven by Valkyrie success. Eliminate back-to-backs and extend season by 3 weeks to reduce load. 6. Technology integration. Embed biometric sensors in jerseys to detect illegal contact. Develop AI-assisted real-time foul detection systems. Launch a transparency portal publishing referee accuracy metrics. 7. Marketing realignment. Redirect changemaker partner funds, AT&T, Deloitte, Nike, toward officiating technology investments. Rebrand line-em-up community courts with orange 3-point lines symbolizing fair play. Produce documentaries exposing officiating challenges to build fan empathy. 8. Player development. Triple anti-harassment security using Chicago Sky's Moonshot threat detection system. Negotiate mental health opt-outs for players facing online abuse. Establish career transition trusts funded by expansion fees. 9. Financial firewalls. Dedicate 20% of new media revenue, $440 million, to officiating infrastructure. Create a $50 million injury fund for players sidelined by unflagged fouls. Tie commissioner bonuses to player safety metrics. 10. Cultural reset. Replace no-call culture with whistle-first mandate. Feature referees in town halls with fans. Adopt NHL-style make-up call transparency. Refs explain critical corrections on court. The stakes. Extinction or evolution. The WNBA stands at a precipice. Path A in action. Clark suffers a career-altering injury from unflagged contact. New fans abandon the league. Players strike over CBA failures. Expansion teams fold. The $2.2 billion media deal becomes an epitaph. Path B, revolution. Officiating becomes the league's greatest strength. Player safety unlocks Clark's full artistry. The 2030 season features 18 profitable franchises. Women's sports enter a golden age. Conclusion. The whistle as weapon of salvation. The solution isn't complex, it's elemental. Call fouls. Call them early. Call them equally. Every uncalled hack on Clark isn't just unfair, it's a $10 million liability. Every eye roll at Reese's protests isn't just tone deaf, it's fan alienation. Every operational blunder isn't just embarrassing, it's proof the league undervalues itself. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert holds a whistle now. Will she use it to save the league or preside over its unraveling? The next 10 games will decide whether 2025 is remembered as the WNBA's renaissance or the year it sacrificed its future at the altar of negligence. Progress marketed without protection isn't progress, it's propaganda, and this generation sees through it. Lobo and Ruocco didn't just expose bad reffing, they revealed a culture where talent is punished for being too big. Caitlin Clark's treatment isn't toughness, it's targeted negligence, and until the league admits it, every uncalled foul isn't a mistake. It's a choice. Agree? Disagree? Scream at us in the comments. And tap subscribe. We drop truth bombs daily while others stay silent.